Konnichiwa minasan. Kyo desu. So today I will be reacting to a video about American University that's talking about proof how Asian males are sexually discriminated. This is bound to be interesting, so I hope you guys enjoy my reaction to it. And without further ado, ikimashou.
So what we see here is that when I was born in 1960, September 3rd, by the way, that's how many Asians were in the US. And look at the number. Estimated to be 9% of the population by 2040. So I'm surely won't be teaching by then, but most of you will still be alive. That's a lot of people. And so we've seen this shift. Asians have definitively overtaken Hispanics as the largest non-white minority group in the United States, right? Just minority in terms of numbers, not in terms of power. And by the way, 5.2% of the undergrad population in the US is Asian. So it's growing. So when I was young, it's just like, it was really uncommon to encounter people in the US who were Asian.
True.
But now that's much less the case. And certainly here in Penn State, 74% of Asians living in the United States are foreign born. So those of you who are Asian, especially Southeast Asian, when somebody says, wow, you speak English really well, understand, and you say like, oh my God, but I was born here, of course I speak English, and you feel some kind of way about it, you feel annoyed because people say that all the time. Look, the reason is because for most of us, most Asian, people of Asian ancestry who we encounter are foreign. And right now, 3 out of 4 foreign born. So there's like a reason for that people are like, oh my gosh, okay? So here, students studying abroad. This is from China. So imagining just this classroom, right? 2010, this is how many Chinese students were studying abroad. Look at where we're at in 2016, and it's gone up again since 2017, 2018. So we're seeing just this massive shift in the way studies are happening. So what I'm really trying to do right now is just get you to orient ourselves toward Asia. Hey, I need a couple of the guys. Who's one of the guys who came up the other day who got chosen? Who's the guy that 2 people picked him as the handsome Asian guy? Where's the handsome Asian guy? Dude, let me tell you what this number is for you, bro, okay? And one of the reasons I did that exercise the other day is because I first thought of it upon seeing this number. All right, listen, bro. So remember this guy, the handsome dude? In spite of how handsome he is, for him to compete with an average white guy of equal handsomeness, maybe like, I don't know, dude. This dude right here, he's kind of handsome, right? Look at this dude. So for Andy, what's your name, bro? Chris. For Andy to compete with Chris on the dating market, okay? Andy has to make, on all the dating apps on the dating market, okay? Andy has to make $247,000 more per year than this dude right here, right? $247,000 more per year to be equal to him on the dating market. So that somebody like you, or I don't know, you, right? For you to find him, Andy, equally as attractive as Chris, or for you to find Andy, or you, right? Or you, we're going with women here right now, or you, right, okay? Do you find these guys like, are they like basically equally attractive, would you say? More or less? Yeah. I mean, you have to say that. But
So here's my problem with this so far, is that a few things. Number one, if you're a minority in a certain country, there are some challenges that you are going to face because you are a minority. For example, if I went to Japan and I went to live in Japan, I would be considered a minority because Japan is 98% Japanese. Now in the dating market, I'm not Japanese. And usually, I forgot a study that said 80% of people want to marry and date within their own racial group or within their own ethnicity. So you will find many whites who say, I just want to date white. You'll find many blacks who say, I just want to date black. You'll find many Asians that say, I want to date or marry someone who's Asian. Now, I might have some difficulty marrying in Japan because, first of all, I'm a foreigner. I may not be, well-versed in the Japanese language or Japanese culture. So it's it's well understood if someone is least likely to take a risk with me because I'm not a Japanese man. It's the same way in America. By his stats, he's saying that Asians are the lowest minority. Now they're passing whites. I'm not whites, Latinos. And he's saying that he has to make a certain amount of money to be just as attractive. But statistically speaking, Asians per capita make more money in America than any other racial group. Meaning that their households, they tend to make more money, generally speaking. So on top, it's Asians. Then I believe it's whites and then blacks. But even with blacks, it's Nigerians, but that's a whole different topic. But basically, Asians tend to be more financially well off, generally speaking, than even white people. And this is a majority white country. So I guess what he's trying to say is that Asians are not as, looked upon sexually as wanted as other men. But the same could be said if I went to Japan and the Japanese woman said, well, I'm more attracted to a more Japanese man because that's what I like. I can't complain and say, hey, that's not fair. Well, I'm in a majority Japanese country and they like a certain thing. So to me, it's more giving that victim narrative of why Asians are oppressed. But, let me start ranting. Let's continue.
We've already established that Andy's attractive. The rest of the class did.
I think he's attractive too. I also think he's attractive.
Okay, both, right? Okay, so you think they're both attractive?
Yeah.
So whether or not she does believe that, she can't say no because it'll be proving his point. Plus, it's going to make her look bad. And usually we know people don't want to look bad in social gatherings. So already the kind of like the tone is set to her to have to agree, even if she might not personally find maybe Asians as attractive as she would a white person, but she's white. And like I said before, usually people want to date and marry within their own racial group. But
Are you straight?
Yeah.
So look, for you might say that, and she might say it, right? And you might say it, and all the women in here might say it who are straight, right? Lesbians, well, you could be free to like them too, right? So look, but the thing is, what we know is if we put all of you together and you're gonna decide whether you're gonna go on a date with this guy or this guy, what we see is this guy has to make nearly $250,000 more than that guy to be equal in your eyes. On average. Not for one of you. Maybe for you that's not the case, or for you it's not the case. But on average, of all the people in this class, Andy, because Asian men aren't seen as sexualized, right? They're just not seen in that way. They tend to be seen in a very different way. In order for Andy to compete, look at these guys, right? Come here. Can we stand next to each other? Look. Just these two guys, right? In order for them to be equal to you, right? Forget about, let's say that he's a little shorter, so they're the same height. Andy's got to make $250,000 more, y'all. Okay, so look, dudes, $250,000, y'all, right?
Well, that depends on if she's more just interested about his income. There's plenty of guys who make $40K, $50K, $60K a year who are not the richest of dudes, but they have a good retirement plan. They're smart with their money. They're spending it wisely. They're saving up. And they're able to put their family in a decent home. If you really want to go by that, then by the stats, African Americans are the least attractive because per capita, we make the less amount of money. I think the average income earner for an African American male in this country is $35,000. So this is one thing why I hate the victim narrative, because it wants you to make you feel bad and feel guilty for something that's out of your control. But not only that, Asians typically go in fields that make more money. You usually find Asians that are doctors, engineers, scientists, lawyers, that kind of stuff. So, overall, Asian men make more than white guys in America, generally speaking. When it comes to attraction, I will say there is a huge stereotype that Asian males are very feminized. They're not strong. They're very weak. That is a huge stereotype with Asian men. And I think it's rooted in truth, in my personal opinion. But I guess he's really trying to say is that, unless the Asian guy is making this amount of money, you won't find him attractive. But there are many women who may not find him attractive regardless of his income. And there may be women who do find him attractive regardless of his income. I don't really get sexually. I mean, for a man, having more money does help when it comes to attracting a mate, but that can't be the only thing. And most men don't even make that much. That's like the top 5% of men in this country who make that much. So regardless if you're white, black, or Asian, only like what 10 or 5% of males make more than 100K a year. So I don't know.
You can sit back and say, oh no, they're both attractive. This is cool. This is fine. No, I like him. Yeah, Andy, Chris, it's all good, right? Because, that's what we think. But I'm telling you, it may be true for one of you, but across the board, that's the case. And that's the place of Asians in the United States. That's worth thinking about. And that's effing profound. And if you're not seeing it as profound, it's because you're not thinking about it. Look, $250,000 that dude. So no matter what he does in the dating market, on average, it's $250,000 more. Dude, what do you think of that?
Seems pretty shallow to base, like to put, I don't really care how much more he makes.
Yeah.
I feel like to value someone based off of that.
Yeah, that's not what it is, though.
Level.
No, but it's not about even conscious. It's subconscious, right? Like you may not do that in your mind up here, but somewhere in your subconsciousness, you're going to look at him and you're still going to be like, nah, but for some reason.
And if that is the case, who cares? Who cares? Find someone that loves you and cares about you. Why are you so worried about if another person likes you or not? If you don't find Asian men attractive, cool. The Asian man should be like, I don't care. I'll find someone who does find me attractive. This is more of that whole victim mindset that you want people to think like victims and people to feel sorry for you. Honestly, who cares? There's people who are not going to want to date me because I'm American, because I'm black, and I say that who cares? I got better things to worry about than to worry about, I'm not going to be liked because I'm black or I'm Asian or whatever. Like, who cares? And now we got to deal with people's subconscious. I can't see their subconscious. I can only see what they put out in front of me. If we're trying to play mind reader and try to get into people's subconscious, we enter some very fishy territory, in my opinion. I just typically hate the victim mindset. I think it cripples people and it's not doing our young people any justice.
Nah, I just like Chris more. I just think he's cuter. I just think he's this. I just think he's that. Now you were seeing that, but if the Andy dude made $250,000, you wouldn't even know it. And you'd be like, oh, okay, I'll talk to him, right? Like if he's one of the Asian dudes driving around in a Ferrari or something. So it's not about just being shallow, right? It's about really understanding ourselves.
Yeah, whatever, man. I think I had said all I had to say with this video. I thought it was very disingenuous to Asian men. I mean, if you're an Asian man, who cares what other races think of you, or who cares if someone likes you or not? You just be you. You'll find women of all races are gonna like you. My best friend, his girlfriend's a white woman. So like you'll find somebody that likes you. And who cares? I think we're too worried about what other people think of us. Just you be great. You do what's necessary for you. Follow your purpose, manage your money right, be the best you can. Be the best you can be, and that's it. Who cares? We're too worried about what other people think of us, man. And victim mindsets never help. But I completely disagree with this guy's philosophy. Asian man, be proud that you're Asian, but don't seek approval from other people. You don't need it. Just be great, man. Just be great. So if you guys like this video, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Also, hit that bell as well to get notified whenever we post a video. Arigatou gozaimasu. 皆さん、じゃあね。